Hi, I'm AJ Hoge, one of the teachers of Learn Real English. I have been teaching English for almost 15 years now. And during that time, I have seen a lot of pain, a lot of frustration. I know that a lot of people in the world, a lot of English learners, are very frustrated or bored or just really angry because you have been learning English for many years. Perhaps you started in middle school or high school learning English. And you had to take a lot of tests, and you studied textbooks, and you've memorized lots of vocabulary. You've studied so many grammar rules. You've probably gone to private English schools to get more practice with English. Maybe your private English school had an American or a British person as a teacher, and you thought that would finally be the secret to help you speak English easily and automatically, and to easily and automatically understand native speakers, Americans, British people, Canadians. And yet, I know that probably still you have trouble. Still, you cannot do that. Maybe you have blamed yourself. You think, oh, there's something wrong with me. I'm too lazy, I don't study enough. Or, I'm not good with languages. Or, I'm not good with English. Or I just need more time, more years. Maybe you don't blame yourself. Maybe you blame the schools and the textbooks. Or maybe you blame English and you just say, well, English is very difficult. It's very difficult to understand real English conversations. It's very difficult to talk to an American or Canadian or a British person in a real conversation. Maybe that's what you say to yourself. You have probably tried so many different ways to improve your English. You learned it in school. You went to other schools. You tried different books, different CDs, maybe DVDs. You looked on the internet for different websites, new ways to improve your English. And still, you're frustrated. Still, when you hear a real conversation, you're confused. It's too fast. It's too difficult. Too many idioms. Too much slang. The pronunciation sounds different. And maybe you're thinking, maybe I should quit. Maybe it's impossible to really speak fluently, quickly, automatically, and sound very clear and understandable. A lot of students around the world feel this way. Very frustrated, ready to quit almost. And if not ready to quit, then very frustrated and bored. And the worst thing is confused, not knowing what to do. I know you want to speak English easily, quickly, automatically. I know you want to understand American movies and British movies easily and automatically. I know you want to talk to North Americans and British people or Australians easily and automatically. I know you want them to understand you. That you want your speech to sound clear and like a real native speaker, like an American or British person or Canadian. I know you want these things. That's why you're watching this video. But the problem is that you've tried all these methods, all these different ways in the past, and they did not help you. They did not work. And so the purpose of these videos that I'm giving you for free, that Kristen and Joe are also giving to you for free, is to help you find a different way, a better way. Now, today I want to talk about an important point, one important method, one important reason that you have had little success in the past, but a way you can have much more success. Now, in learning, there is something called situation-dependent learning. What does that mean? Well, it means when you learn something, how you perform, your skill level, depends on the situation in which you learned it. Let me give you an example. Imagine you want to be a great football player, soccer player. Now, in the beginning, you might practice very, very slowly. Maybe when you're a child or when you're a low beginner, you're going to practice individual skills, kicking the ball, passing the ball. And you're going to do these things very slowly and simply. That's fine. That's what you need to do when you are a beginner. But if you truly want to be a great soccer player, a great football player, when you become an intermediate level player, you must change the situation. In other words, you must practice differently. To be good in a football game, you must practice very quickly. In other words, you want your practice time to be very close to a real game. Right? You're practicing for a certain situation. You're practicing for a specific situation. That situation is a game. A real game. Right? It doesn't matter if you're good in practice. Nobody cares if you're good in practice if you're bad in the game. In soccer, in football, you have to be good in the game. That's all that's important. In the game, you must be good. And to be good in the real game, when you practice, you must practice in a very fast environment. You must practice in an intense, powerful way. Your practice must feel like a real game. You can't just be relaxed and go very slowly, because then in the real game, you will not be ready for fast and powerful. A real game is so fast. No time to think. No time to pause or stop. It's fast. So that's the situation. That's the real situation, a real game. So when you practice, you must try to make your practice very close to the real game. Make your practice very, very fast. Very powerful. Difficult. Close to a real game. Close to the situation of a real game. Close to the feeling of a real game. Now, we understand this with sports. It's obvious. Everybody knows this is true. But somehow, we forget about this when learning English. Yet, it's exactly the same. A conversation, a real conversation with someone from an English-speaking country. So, for example, a real conversation with an American or someone from England. That's like a game. That's like a football game. It's fast. It's unpredictable. You don't know what they will say exactly. And sometimes you might feel nervous. And so you have all of these difficult things happening very quickly in the real situation, the real conversation. If it's on the phone, a real conversation on the phone is even more difficult. You can't see them. So this is a very, very difficult real situation. But what happens when people practice English? When they go to school, for example, or when you use a textbook? What do? You listen to a short dialogue, maybe a few lines, 3, 4, 5 lines only. That dialogue, that conversation, that fake conversation, is usually read by actors talking unnaturally and slowly, using vocabulary that we don't use in real conversations, pronouncing words differently than we do in real conversations. So, in other words, in the schools, in the textbooks, in your practice at home, the situation is totally different than the real situation you are preparing for. The real situation, the real conversation is totally different than your practice. That's your problem. That's why you can practice and feel very good. You know a lot of vocabulary. You know the grammar rules. You listen to the CD or the tape and you understand it. But then when you have a real conversation, none of this helps. You're confused. You don't understand what they're saying. When you speak, they don't understand you. They say, huh? What? What? Because your pronunciation's not good. You don't understand the phrases they're using because they're using different kinds of vocabulary. The speed is so much faster. So the situation, the real one, and the situation, your practice, too different. That is your problem. So do you understand how this works? Why it's important? It's just like soccer or football or any other sport. So you must make your practice very, very close to a real conversation. That is the secret. That is the way to be a great English speaker. Not just good, great. Don't try to be good. Be a great English speaker. So, as I have mentioned before, as I said before in past videos, you need to find real conversations, not actors reading. That is not going to help you. You need real conversations that are not read, just two Americans, for example, talking to each other normally, quickly, using real pronunciation, using the real vocabulary, including idioms and slang. And that's what will help you understand, of course, real conversations and to be able to be in a real conversation and speak automatically, speak quickly, not be thinking, not feel nervous, but feel very strong, feel very confident, feel very good. So, there's a couple ways to do this. Number one, find real conversations. Real, not fake, not actors, not a textbook. Real. Two Americans talking to each other. Of course, at Learn Real English, that's all we do. We record real conversations between real people, real topics, real pronunciation, real idioms, real vocabulary, everything. No actors. Another good source of real conversation, or close to real, not real, but close, are movies. Movies are much closer to real than textbooks. So you can use movies also. American movies, British movies, Australian movies. Now, of course, the question then I know you have is, well, AJ, that's a great idea, but how do I understand these real conversations? How do I understand the movies? If I understood them, I would have no problem, right? So obviously, when you have real conversations, you need someone to help you understand them. That's what a coach is. Just like in football or soccer, when they practice, when a player practices, there's always a coach to help them. The coach creates a real situation, close to real, like a game, but then the coach helps them improve, helps them make changes so that they get better and better, so that they are ready for the game. And that's my job. That's Kristen and Joe's job. That's what we do at Learn Real English. We are your coaches. We create real situations for you, real conversations, and then we coach you. We help you understand those real conversations and use them easily and automatically. Now, how do we do that? Well, we have vocabulary lessons where we just explain the idioms, the slang, the pronunciation, the speed even. We help you understand that. And we have some other special lessons, mini stories, point of view stories, commentary. All of these kind of lessons are coaching. Think about it not as teaching, but as coaching. We are coaching you. We're giving you the real situation, a real conversation. Then we coach you in these different ways so you understand the real conversation and you learn it yourself and you can also do it yourself easily and automatically. And that is the purpose of our new Advanced Conversation Club. Now, the Advanced Conversation Club is not for everybody. It's for people who want advanced, real conversation. People who want powerful coaching. Who want to be ready for that real game, the real conversation, the real situation. That's why we created our new Advanced Conversation Club. It's not for everybody. It's only for people who really want that advanced, powerful level of speaking and understanding. Who want to be ready for the real game, the real conversation. Now, the new program will open in September. So we still have maybe 5 more weeks. So you cannot join it now, but we will open it, have a special opening next month. Well, not next month, September. We're still in July now. So anyway, if you're interested in that, I hope you will join it. If not, I hope you still enjoy these videos and think about how you are practicing English. Are you getting ready for the real game, the real conversation? Or are you still using old textbooks, old schools, old methods that are not helping you get ready for that real situation? Well, I enjoy teaching you. It's been my pleasure to teach you. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy this video. Most of all, I hope you change the way you learn English because I want you to succeed. I want you to get better jobs with your advanced English skill. I want you to feel strong and confident every time you speak English. I want you to speak to Americans, Canadians, British people with no problem at all, just like you do in your own language. So I hope that this video helps you make a little improvement and think about how to change the way you learn. Have a great day. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.